Welcome to the very first time I've ever tried live streaming. So we'll see if this works. If you're watching, feel free to let me know that you're here or that you even can hear audio. So this is a new experiment for me, and I figured what a day to do it. A day that is historic for our country, the first and probably only presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And there's a lot to look for tonight. It's probably going to be the highest rated presidential debate ever. And even though it's airing on ABC News, it's being broadcast by all the other networks as a simulcast and streaming and all the different ways that people see it, not only live, but we'll be watching it on social media and as feeds and all the rest of it as well, is really going to be huge because Kamala Harris is, for a lot of people, still a big question mark. This will be the seventh presidential general election debate for Donald Trump. It's his third time as the Republican presidential nominee, but it is the first time for Kamala Harris on this sort of stage. She didn't have a primary. This whole thing is pretty new. And so there's a lot of voters that want to learn more about her. They want to understand who she is because, there was a poll that showed that 90% of voters feel like they have enough information to make up their mind on Donald Trump. Either love him or hate him, and there's a lot of people that love him, but most people feel like, I know what that is. We either want it or we don't want it. So then the question is, where do we, in terms of Harris, though, that same poll showed that 30% of the country want to know more about her. They want to get a sense of who she is and what she stands for. I mean, she's only done one major interview so far, and it was pretty short, and it was with her VP candidate. There's a lot of opinions thank you, by the way, for the nice comment. And if other people are watching, please let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm assuming that you can and see me. I've never tried this before. Anyways, so for Harris, she's trying to figure out, for a lot of people, who is she? Is she the candidate that ran in 2019 that was a lot more progressive in a primary that was very progressive? Is she the Harris of 2024 that we've seen so far, who is a lot more moderate and centrist? And frankly, this kind of sounds like, in some ways, like a speech that she gave at the DNC. That's one that like Ronald Reagan could have given, kind of a moderate Republican from a different era saying, "You're welcome here. Come join us." So which Harris is it going to be? And she has not had Donald Trump prodding her. Harris has been very good in the past at sort of not answering questions she doesn't want to answer, not going for a lot of traps, and just sort of stay very disciplined. And, but she him, and she's never met him. This is the first time that Kamala and Donald Trump have ever met each other. Will be on that stage, and he is a unique figure in the history of the country, and he's a lot. And he's done this debate thing before, and he knows how to needle people. That is one of his superpowers, if you will, if you want to use that phrase for it. But it is one of his great political strengths. We've seen person after person go up against him on the debate stage and end up looking small or end up falling for some of his traps. And what we've seen in the past also is when candidates try to out-Trump Trump. Think of Marco Rubio, think of Rand Paul, think of different people that tried to go up against him and tried to out-Trump him. They didn't do well because it's very hard to outdo him at being him. So, we think back about Hillary Clinton and when she was on the debate stage about him, and she's written about the fact that he was behind her and lurching, and she just wanted to look back and, basically say, "Get out of my space, creep." And she didn't, and she regretted that later. It's an interesting balancing act. We're not going to have the audiences. The mics are going to be muted. That's beneficial, probably for Donald Trump, which is why his campaign was pushing for it, and Kamala Harris's campaign was not. Originally, that mic muting thing was a Joe Biden idea for the first debate. And so now they're sort of stuck with those rules. Um, in terms of how if is she winning, this is what's happening. If she's winning, she's able to make this election about the future, not the past. She's able to articulate, in her view, how potential Harris administration would help people on issues like lowering the cost of insulin or child tax credits or other things that she gets to talk to the middle of the country and positions that poll pretty well. And she has some moments where she makes Donald Trump look a little out of touch, and she's able to avoid some of his baiting and traps where he's going to try to bring her into the fray. Um, and she's able to define herself on her terms. That would be a good night for Kamala Harris. And if she can force him into a viral moment where he looks either old or out of control or bitter or racist or sexist or things like that, that would be a win for her. For him, it would be a win if he's able to tie her to the Biden administration and some of their political liabilities. Is he able to really hammer home about the border and tie her to some of the problems there? Is he able to tie her to inflation and the cost of living for so many folks? Is he able to stay on message and really talk about why she hasn't accomplished more in 4 years and why she's running about turning the page when she's in the White House now? And is he able to make her look a little bit like a phony? And is he able to be strong and be perceived as strong while also not being perceived as an asshole? So can he do that? Can that happen? We'll see. If you have any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer them. And as we try this live function, in Jita says, enjoyed your China trip with Mr. Newsom and all the rest. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you'll be watching. We see who you're going to be voting for tonight. And if anybody else has any other comments, feel free to share them, or in terms of questions of what you're looking for this debate. So it's going to be an interesting thing. And wanted to let you know as well that we are doing a post-debate show tonight on Fox 11. Right after, we're going to be simulcasting the ABC debate, as all the networks are. And then right after the debate, seconds after, we're going to be doing a live edition of The Issue Is with Lisa Bloom, the attorney, on the left, John Cobalt, the host of the John Cobalt Show from KFI, on the right. Politico's Melanie Mason's going to be joining us. We're going to have Ed Laskos live talking to voters. And we're also going to have a reporter live in the spin room as well. So it's going to be a busy show, and we're going to be featuring comments from you and from other voters as well. One of the questions we're going to be asking, which we did for the last debate, is one word to define the debate. And it's always interesting to hear people's answers on that. So this is fun, and I appreciate this opportunity to engage with people. And I hope that we'll be able to do this more. So I'm going to end this stream, but I appreciate everybody that's checked it out. And I look forward to doing more of these as this crazy election year goes forward. Thank you very much.